ok, parce que c'est graisseux, c'est dégueulasse. Oui. C'est bien, il fait beau, il se promène, arrête pas. Bien. Bien. Ça va, monsieur? C'est bon? Ça y est? Eric? Prends, pardon. Ok, vas-y.
Having just opened a new restaurant means that Gordon's colleague Marcus Waring has to keep a particularly close eye on everything going on in his kitchen. A great meal in a top restaurant isn't finished until you've had a look at the stunning cheese board. Gordon's supplier for cheese at his restaurant in Chelsea and at the newly opened Petrus is Patricia Michelson.
The smell from the board is absolutely delicious. I mean, it smells wonderful. There's some very interesting cheeses here and a lot of creamy textured cheeses, something that doesn't look that appetising, but I'm sure.
Well, to me, this is absolutely gorgeous. It's silky, velvety, and it's melting. We call it a gorgonzola dolce cremificato. In most other shops or delis, it would be called dolce latte, but this is a true gorgonzola. It's a single curd, that's why it's so soft.
Right.
And the blue just sort of bleeds into the cheese.
And is it injected?
Yes, it is, but then
so
it's
not natural gorgonzola?
Well,
I mean, I'm not a great expert on cheese.
Well, all blue cheese has something either rubbed into it...
Sure, or injected.
Or injected.
Yes.
And this one is injected, but then it's left to actually permeate into the cheese and spread.
Excellent. Can I taste it?
Oh, yes, please do.
Not that camping knife you got there. No, where did you get that from?
I always carry my trusted knife with me.
Serious. And what would you recommend eating this with what? Biscuits?
You can have it with biscuits or go for something quite interesting like cherries or even a pear.
Really?
The sweetness of a pear and the strength of a gorgonzola is stunning. Absolutely stunning. And you can just have that on its own. You don't have to have any other cheeses.
That is delicious.
It changes your mind about blue cheese. The reason why I started my business was because, well, I couldn't get the cheeses that I wanted when I was doing my own dinner parties. And it was on a trip to France skiing that I came upon a cheese called Beaufort. It was just the most beautiful Gruyere, French-style Gruyere that I've ever tasted. And I lugged one back home and then decided I'm going to sell it. I'd never been in the business before, but there I was with this huge cheese and I had to try and get rid of it somehow. So I phoned up all my favourite restaurants and said, would you like me to supply you with cheese? And lo and behold, here we are, 5-6 years down the line with a large business.
This one intrigues me. This looks like a dry parmesan.
It's a pecorino. It's a sheep's milk cheese from Sardinia.
Really? From Sardinia?
Sardinia, yeah. The best pecorinos come from Sardinia. They've got strength and crumbly. That's exactly what you want it to do.
And should it be that dry?
Yes, it's got to be dry. It's aged. It's been the rind has been rubbed with olive oil, which then goes into the cheese to give it that strength.
It's very, very nice. Very crumbly.
Very crumbly. But again, have it with the little fresh broad beans.
Now that's a strange combination, eating broad beans with cheese.
Very Italian. Very Italian.
Ready?
Yeah.
And
you just a broad bean, a bit of cheese, delicious, and some crusty bread. It's very important to look out for real farmhouse cheese. It's a dying art because of all the EEC rules and regulations. We're seeing the demise of small individual cheesemakers now. We've now really got to think about it very carefully because in a few years' time we might not have the benefit of what you actually see here now. Slowly but surely, small farms will close up because they just don't have the money or the facilities to be able to carry on in more or less a commercial way. They'll be able to make for themselves, but they won't be able to sell. And that will be the saddest thing in the world because once you start seeing the demise of certain specialist foods such as cheese, you see all through the line, suddenly other things will go missing. You won't get breads, you won't you won't get vegetables. Everything will suddenly become standardised, and we've got to try and cling on. And I really mean this to real food for flavour, for style and for elegance.
Moving on to that one there with those beautiful black dollars of truffle.
That's from the Piemonte. It's a fresh goat's cheese.
Mm-hmm. Which is here.
Yep.
Now, is that real truffle there?
That is absolutely real truffle.
Can we scrape that and put that in the sauce for Marcus later?
Well, no, what you could do is make a lovely risotto and then crumble it into your risotto.
And this is a single goat's cheese,
which would be lovely.
This is single goat's cheese.
It's just a very, very fresh goat's cheese. Goat's cheeses in Italy are quite sharp in flavour.
Sure. It's funny because in France, we sell a lot of brie with truffle.
Yes.
Truffle oil as well?
No, it's just got the truffle. Just the truffle on it. Shaved truffles on it. Going to a specialist cheese shop entails a whole new ball game in food shopping. You're not just picking up a piece of cheese pre-cut, pre-packaged. You don't know how it smells. You don't know even the texture of it. When you go into a specialist cheese shop, you've got somebody there who loves what they do, because I can tell you what we do is really hard and it takes a long, long time. You'll be able to smell, as soon as you walk into a cheese shop, the smell of not just cheese, but of the cellar. You want that earthy, rustic smell. You want to smell the farm. When you can smell the farm in a cheese shop, you know you're in a real shop. And also, when you ask about cheese, you just don't say, oh, I want something for tonight that is a bit fruity. Well, we'll say, OK, we can give you something fruity, but we can give you something to taste first. Try it and see, is that the style that you want? What are you cooking tonight? Are you going to have meat? Are you going to have fish, chicken? We can put together a cheese board that will satisfy the palates of everybody that you're cooking for your dinner party or for your family, and also to complement what you're cooking, because what you're cooking is very, very important to what you're going to eat afterwards or during the meal. This has just come in from the Ariège, southwest France. It's a goat again. It's called Tom de Cabriolet, and it has a washed crust on it, washed and brushed.
Rinsed.
Where you wash it in brine.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
and very moist,
and then it gets that little sort of bloomy, sort of peachy, downy.
Again, very creamy, isn't it?
Yes, but it's very young because it's only just arrived, so it's going to taste quite tangy.
Quite a rubbery effect. It's not a creaminess.
No. This is a totally different kind of goat's cheese, but it's the brand new season, and with a crusty bread or with a very thinly sliced raisin bread, that would be lovely.
Very nice.
The thing about cheese and the way it looks and the way it smells and the way it tastes, it's all to do with a passion to give you the best from an area or from the animal itself, from the milk. And it's the people that make it and the animals that they love, because they really do love their animals. Every cow has its own name. They have their own label on their bell, and they have their own little sound that the farmer shouts, you know, whether it's a whistle or a little sort of little song or something that will actually bring that particular cow to them when it's milking time, and they know it. There is this joy in what they do, because it's a very, very hard life being a farmer, especially when you're in a very remote area of France or Italy, to be able to produce this kind of food, which is really an art. It's an art and it's a passion, and they both go very well together and they taste beautiful.
One what I haven't seen anywhere is this one here.
Macagnetta à la herbe.
How do you say that again, sorry?
Macagnetta à la herbe.
One more, please.
Macagnetta à la herbe.
How long did it take to pronounce that?
Not long.
Really?
No.
You speak with your mouth full. But that is a fascinating name.
Got
Where does
the
that
teeth.
come from?
It's the teeth that do.
Absolutely. It's the gap between the teeth you never trust. Where does the cheese come from?
This comes from the Piemonte. And what it is, again, is Piemonte has some really interesting cheeses, and it's just a ricotta.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a ricotta which is put into muslin and allowed to dry out a little. They drain it out, and then they cover it in herbs and then mature it in cellars.
Oh, really?
So it's a very, very gentle cheese.
Obviously, you don't eat the rinds.
Yes, 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 yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
That
Go on,
thing?
you eat it, please, eat it.
Well,
'Cause
I'd
it's
rather see Marcus go first because I'm working.
Oh my God! It's got herbs on it, and the herbs help the cheese because the cheese is very, very light.
It's actually quite nice.
Very gentle.
Hey, Marcus, what's it called again, Marcus?
I've no idea.
The simpler the cheese is, the more difficult the names. It's quite extraordinary.
The flavour is beautiful.
Yeah, but it's a very old-fashioned style of cheese, sort of thing that you would get in a little mountain
mixed herbs?
chalet. Yeah, yeah. They
Nothing
just
particular?
whatever is there.
It was in the garden.
Yeah.
And what would you eat with that? Would you eat the cherries?
Cherries would be lovely.
'Cause it's actually
Salad would
quite-
be lovely. Yeah,
it's quite dry.
yes. So you need something sort of with a
Sweet.
little bit of sort of juiciness to it. Or salad. I love to eat this with salad.
Now, I noticed there's a camembert de chef.
Yes.
Now, this is interesting. What's that
that's-
combination of camembert?
It's just goat's milk done in the style of camembert.
Oh, really?
And it's from the Tarn. And this is just the start of the season. It's
that
late.
new?
Yes.
It's actually still quite firm, so it's not ready yet.
Oh no, it's ready. It's ready.
Well, that firm.
Yeah, you
Really?
open it, yeah, and it'll be lovely and soft. If it's too soft, goat's milk gets quite aggressive in
Really?
flavour.
It looks like a pont l'evêque. That same shape, no?
Well, yes, you can get round ones as well, but we've just got the square ones. But if you taste it, it's got quite a sweetness to it.
Would you eat the rind to that as well?
Personally, I wouldn't, but you can.
Why?
It's just that it's such a delicate flavour of the goat. I prefer to eat it without the rind. This particular cheesemaker, it's a woman,
very nice.
and she's got a wonderful little farm in the town, and
Very,
the
very
goats are allowed to
very
roam, which is unusual because they mainly keep goats inside.
I'm going to eat one of these beautiful vine tomatoes with this, you know that?
Yes, they're from Italy, from the Milan market, and they're nice and sweet. But that could actually go on your cheese board if you get it just at that amount of maturity.
Really?
You don't want it to be any more mature than that.
That's very, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Not definitely rind. You definitely don't need the rind.
You don't need the rind, no.
Yeah, it's such a
It's a
delicate-
very, very delicate flavour. It's almost sweet and nutty. You can taste the grass, which I think is rather lovely.
Excellent.
Clonmore, it's from Charterville, County Cork.
County
And-
Court?
County Cork.
Oh, Cork, sorry.
And it's a goat's milk cheese again. But it's from a very small farm
Ready?
in County Cork, making this particular kind of goat's cheese, which is almost in a sort of a Dutch style.
Very nice.
But again, isn't it sweet?
Very, very good.
It's quite interesting, isn't it?
Do you find the best sort of individual selected cheese are coming from small growers? Full.
You get a certain style of cheese from a small producer. You get their style, their particular way of doing something. It's it's all to do with touch, smell. How
Like
you,
making bread.
absolutely the same thing. How you feel. You can feel how it's coming along. And when you go to one of these small farms, they put so much of their own personality into the cheese making. It's like the Beaufort. That Beaufort will not taste like any other Beaufort because it's from a particular individual that makes it like that.
I mean, this relates back to the combination of the food, the selection of the wine, the food. It's all down to serious individuals.
Yes.
And the importance of inheriting the business and continuing
Right.
to carry us through the next generation. You can see why a lot of the
Well, and
mongers are becoming
yes,
frustrated because no one's following through behind the scenes with the investment.
And what you're doing as well, that each course you're taking seriously. You're not just plonking a bit of cheese on the table.
No, absolutely.
It's just as much a part of your whole menu
Sure.
as
Absolutely right.
anything as
And
everything else
It's got
is.
to complement.
Yes.
It's definitely got to complement.
Well, and it has to be up to the standard that your food is. It's got to be there.
Well, that is definitely right from the Fromagerie, isn't it?
I hope so.
Otherwise
We
it goes-
try.
Otherwise it goes back again.
It does, doesn't it? Not often, though.
No, not often. It's happened once in 5 years.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Salad of langoustine with candied aubergine. Very delicious, summery salad. Reminds me of the very early days of the aubergine. One of the dishes we had right at the very beginning on the menu. Candied aubergine. These little baby aubergines have been sliced. They've been seasoned beautifully and they've been sprinkled with a touch of nutmeg and sugar. Left to absorb that for 20 minutes to take out the water, and then very beautifully shallow fried. So we've had these wonderful, nice, crisp, textured aubergines. And sometimes they have a very tendency to become bitter, but because of the sugar, the nutmeg, and then shallow frying, and then putting on paper, they become nice, crispy, beautiful, dainty little chips. The vinaigrette is a very light tomato vinaigrette on the base of lemongrass nage, which we've made a very fresh tasting nage, and just infuse that with some lemongrass. That's going to be the base of our sauce. It's not really like a vinaigrette, but it's a combination of oil, lemongrass stock, 2 or 3 tablespoons of the nage. Next to that, we've got a tablespoon of confit shallots that have been very, very finely chopped, cooked on the side for about 35-40 minutes in olive oil, and then left to cool down within its own fat inside. And it looks like it's quite pasty, but it will break down as the sauce starts to progress. Fresh tomato puree, made a lot of trimmings, fresh basil stalks, set on the side of the stove for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, then pureed, and then passed through a very fine chinois. That's going to thicken the sauce. Next to that, we've got a really nice concasse of tomatoes, plum tomatoes which have been blanched, cut into quarters, and beautifully diced. Just mix that up together to make a really nice fine paste. Our herbs for the salad is a very fragrant young basil, chopped. And the most important thing about this sauce is that it's going to be left to marinate for 3 or 4 minutes now, but it's not actually cooked. We've had the confit shallots, the tomato puree, as you know, have been cooked beforehand, and this is still incredibly cold. We just need to put it somewhere warm to almost marinate, because it's a sauce that never boils, and the reason it doesn't boil is because we don't allow it to boil. It'll break down the strength of tomatoes, it'll start to weaken the sauce, and it becomes this horrible mush. So we really want it to stay somewhat intact, very glossy looking, and just kept at a very nice temperature, warm temperature. We're just going to put that on the side to marinate. The langoustines, number 1 langoustines, they've been blanched for 30 seconds, removed out their shell hot. Taking them out of the shell's a lot easier when they're hot because you just pierce the top and the bottom, push your thumb through, and they almost pop out the shell. They are going to be sautéed in olive oil. We're going to dress the salad, place that in the centre of the plate, vinaigrette around the outside, and then top each individual langoustine with some beautiful, crisp, candied aubergine. Season the langoustines beautifully, salt and pepper. Bearing in mind when we sauté these langoustines, we want them to be nice and crisp on the outside, but really succulent and tasty in the centre. Non-stick pan, smoking, generous on the olive oil, langoustines in. Beautifully coloured. And then just very, very quickly roll them round. Tip of the spoon. Flick them over. And then out straight away. Now it's important it's done very, very quickly because we want to maximise on the colour. Sometimes in the summer when we've got some beautiful Scottish lobsters, we use the coral from that lobster and we'll paste and coat the langoustine in that coral, and it comes out this really nice, beautiful, bright pink colour. But because they're not in season at present, we're just going to do them very, very plain like so. Take them out the oil. As you can see, they're nicely coloured on the outside. Just glaze them very, very lightly with a touch of vinaigrette, and now we're going to start to dress the salad. The combination of salad leaves, we've got some beautiful rocket salad, some wonderful mash salad, radicchio salad, lullo rosso, and a touch of frisée. They've been picked, refreshed in ice water, and nicely seasoned. Touch of classic vinaigrette, Again, gentle on the pepper because we've got some rocket salad in there, so it's going to be quite peppery. Just very, very carefully mix it and gently fold the salad over with your hands and beautifully glaze that salad. Plate, cut her into the centre. Just going to very casually place this beautiful salad into the centre. And it's important that when we dress the salad's dressed right at the very last minute. But because the salad is going to be placed in the centre, around the outside, we're going to have a really nice lemongrass vinaigrette. We really need to dress the salad very lightly, otherwise it's going to become too saturated and we'll not be able to identify this beautiful combination of salad with the lemongrass vinaigrette. Here I've got some wonderful battens of chives, and I say battens because they're taken right from the very top of the chives and they're nice and fine. Just roll them round in your vinaigrette, end of the bowl, and just beautifully place them on top, like so. The vinaigrette now has been marinated. It's come together beautifully. We're just going to spoon this around like so. Little mounds around the outside of the salad. Don't worry about that olive oil coming out, seeping out. That's part of the marinade. It's the juices of the tomato puree. Go all the way around. Maybe for these size langoustine you want to use 9 or 10. As a main course you go to 12 or 14. And then just very, very carefully sit your langoustines in on top of your vinaigrette. And all the way around. And the slightly smaller ones, the dainty ones, don't be scared to put inside the salad. Candied aubergine, nice and crisp, sat on top of the langoustine. And then just go all the way around. Sometimes it's nice to actually serve these candied aubergine as a little canapé in the bar. Don't be scared to use them up in the salad. Then finally just cut it with a very fine classic vinaigrette around the outside. Remove the cutter. Be careful not to knock over this beautiful salad. And here we have our salad of langoustine with candied aubergine and a really nice, light, fragrant lemongrass vinaigrette.